The EU's massive new drone wall project, meant to protect against Russia, could be exactly what Putin wanted. Europe diverting money and attention away from Ukraine and into its own defense panic. Across Europe, alarm bells are ringing. Unidentified drones over European airspace, Russian cargo ships under suspicion, and a leaked EU roadmap revealing plans for a sweeping continent-wide drone wall to defend against Moscow.
Drones are already redefining warfare. Having drone defenses is no longer optional for anyone. Today we propose a new anti-drone system to be fully operational by the end of 2027.
Lithuania, Latvia, Denmark, Norway, Romania, Poland, Estonia, Germany and France have seen drones or disruptions over their territory in the past 3 months. The European Union has formally launched a drone wall initiative along the eastern border with Russia, and NATO has said it is increasing its vigilance in the Baltic states. But here's the twist. Experts say this wall might be exactly what Vladimir Putin wanted all along. A psychological trap baited with cheap drones, forcing Europe to pour billions into defending its skies and away from defending Ukraine. According to a leaked copy of the European Commission's Defence Readiness Roadmap 2030, the EU plans to have its so-called drone wall fully functional and integrated by the end of 2027. It's part of a broader Eastern Flank Watch, alongside the Air Defence Shield and Defence Space Shield, ambitious projects meant to create a coordinated European defence system. The document calls the drone wall urgent, describing it as a multi-layered, technologically advanced network for detection, tracking and neutralisation of drones, and even for conducting precision strikes of its own. But here's where it gets complicated. The EU hasn't identified any new financing streams to pay for it. Brussels plans to boost total defence funding to €131 billion in the next budget, with €18 billion for military mobility. But that's still nowhere near enough for a continent-wide system stretching from the Baltic to the Black Sea. And as some defence analysts note, this could mean national budgets and even NATO allies divert money from Ukraine to protect their own skies. This is where the psychological game begins. Over the past year, Russia's use of cheap drones, sometimes costing less than $2,000, has shifted from battlefield strategy to geopolitical messaging. By sending small, even commercially available drones into European airspace, Moscow has made the EU feel directly vulnerable, not through invasion, but through irritation, confusion, and fear. When Danish airspace was closed over sightings of unidentified drones, France, Germany and the UK scrambled helicopters and jammers. But those intruders? They turned out to be small hobby drones, not Russian military craft. As one European diplomat told Le Monde, the biggest threat isn't what the drones can destroy, it's what they make us destroy: our focus, our budget and our unity. Experts are already calling the drone wall a modern Maginot Line, a high-tech fortress that looks strong on paper, but might do little to stop fast-evolving threats. Even Israel's Iron Dome, the world's most advanced system, can't stop every drone or rocket. And Israel is a fraction the size of the European continent. Professor Gustav Gressel of the European Council on Foreign Relations warns, "You cannot build a shield against panic. That's why Russia is exploiting the fear factor." Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen recently said Russia is waging hybrid warfare, mixing cyber attacks, sabotage and psychological tricks to keep Europe off balance. Her words are chilling. This is only the beginning. And indeed, Putin's strategy seems less about winning territory now and more about making Europe fight itself. The EU 27, divided by national interests and bureaucracy, struggles to move as one. Putin, the sole decision maker, exploits those cracks. Every false alarm, every drone panic deepens them. Meanwhile, Ukraine's Defence Minister Denis Shmyhal told NATO allies in Brussels that Kyiv needs $120 billion in weapons next year. He urged them to either commit 0.25% of GDP to Ukraine or use frozen Russian assets.
We estimate them at $120 billion. Ukraine will cover half, 60 billion, from our national resources. We are asking partners to join us in covering the other half.
But as Europe's defence budgets swell with new anti-drone and air defence projects, the reality is clear. Every euro spent on a drone wall is a euro not going to Kyiv's ammunition, tanks or air defence. Analysts warn this could be Putin's real success, not in conquering new land, but in forcing Europe to defend the wrong one. Putin doesn't need to destroy Europe's infrastructure, just its priorities. By turning low-cost drones into political weapons, he's effectively redirected the West's military focus inward. A European drone wall by 2027 may protect against small airspace violations, but it could also wall off Europe's ability to think strategically beyond its own borders. So who's really winning this round? Europe, building walls to protect itself from Putin, who's made Europe believe it needs them? In the end, the drone war isn't just about machines in the sky. It's about control of attention, of budgets, and of fear. And fear, as history often reminds us, is the cheapest weapon of all.
Nie narażając czołg może operować w terenie zatrutym, skażonym, niepromieniowanym.
Geschäftsführer Helsing Deutschland sowie der Group Aircraft, Herrn Wolfgang Gammel.
Meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, es ist mir eine besondere Ehre, Ihnen heute